Good morning, everyone. It's been a while. Thank you Ed, so much for attending our class today. This will just be very quick, so please sit tight and listen. Today we'll be talking about privacy, the importance of privacy, bakit ba kailangan natin mag-inject ng privacy, what does it do to our participants, to our interviewees, and to our journalistic works. Ano ba muna yung mga myths o stereotypical notions about journalism? Una, sabi nila journalists will do anything to get a story. Of course, that is not true. There are certain limitations that we have to consider in making a story. May mga bagay tayong hindi dapat gawin, especially if it crosses the line of illegality. Second, audience will willingly consume anything the journalists deliver. It may be true before, but not today, especially na ang mga tao today are very intelligent and smart na hindi na basta-basta kumakain na lang na kung anong sabihin ng journalists. So we have to be careful at all times. Let's talk about the need for privacy versus the right to privacy. Ano bang pagkakaiba nun? When we say the need for privacy, purposes are first, to have our sense of self, rationality. Second, to develop personality apart from observation without cognitive control or how we think about stuff and things. And third, to have democracy versus totalitarianism or yung extensive repression o yung mga regimes na tinatawag. When we say the right to privacy, this is a way of protecting oneself against the actions of other people and institutions, has connotations of control and limited access, o yung tinatawag nating prima facie. Or when we say prima facie, this is accepted as correct until proven otherwise. Ganun kasi tayo sa Pilipinas, especially sa bansa natin, di ba? We actually believe in certain things na ay eto may kasalanan to or ayan fake news yan until malaman natin na hindi naman pala totoo. Best example dyan ay yung issue ng pagkain ng kikiam. For weeks it has been circulating on the internet na pinakain ng kikiam yung mga organizers ng isang sports event, but eventually they learned that it's not. But well, the damage has already been done. So we should also make sure that our media literacy is always careful at all times. Both a legal concept and an ethical concept. When we say legal concept, this is what the law allows. Versus ethical concepts are how we apply our morality, what your conscience permits. What's the difference between secrecy and privacy? When we say secrecy, it's blocking information intentionally to prevent others from using it for different reason, maybe to protect one's identity, to protect a uh, reputation of someone. But since information is very vital part of our journalistic work, we have to show it. But there are certain part of it that we cannot for secrecy purposes. Ano naman yung privacy? This is to determine who will obtain access to information. An individual has control over what information becomes public and to whom. Controls one's own circle of intimacy. For example, I will be interviewed. I don't want my name to be published online, or you give me an alias, or you black out my face. I just want to see my silhouette on the video. That is to protect my identity and also for my security. That is what privacy is. Privacy is guarded legally in four ways. Ano yung apat na ways na yan? Una, intrusion upon a person's seclusion or solitude or into private affairs such as invading one's home or personal papers to get a story. Papasok siya dun sa limitations natin as journalists. We have to make sure that we are not crossing the line. Second, public disclosure of embarrassing private facts such as revealing someone's notorious past when it has no bearing on that person's present status. I am involved in a saga of, say, uh, cases of political pagnanakaw sa kaba ng bayan. Why would you inject that I had four wives before committing that crime? That's also the second part, which is guided by legalities. Hindi pwedeng just for color, you'll put something that is not even irrelevant. Third, publicity that places a person in a false light, such as enhancing a subject's biography to sell additional books. Sensationalism. We don't do sensationalism. We don't add crowd to 18 people who are rallying just for the sake of audience, just for the sake of readers. Fourth, misappropriation of a person's name or likeness for a personal advantage, such as using Michael Jackson's likeness to sell Pepsi without his permission. Kabilang dito yung paggamit ng mga salitang kahit hindi ka spelling is parang gano'n na rin. For example, using the word Jollibee, Jalibby, uh, of that tone to promote your news. Hindi pwede. There are certain laws regarding it. Hindi pwede yung misappropriation. Kahit na hindi person's name, person of a company, person of a place, person, name of uh, a certain public figure. Hindi pwede. Because that is misappropriation. Cases is different for public figures or mga taong kilala. Limited public figures, mga taong uh, nagkataong dinadagdag dun sa istorya para maging mas makulay yung storya. You can Google it out. For example, there is a controversy about, say, yung kay Dasera. Dahil yung isang miyembro ng tropa niya ay anak ni Claire de la Fuente, inilalagay si Claire de la Fuente sa limelight to make it more appealing. Right? And accidental public figures or public figures who are not really part of the story initially but became part of it. Because the legal remedy of invading privacy occur after the fact, therefore, critical thinking prior to publication is preferable in a court battle. And kahit hindi lang naman sa court battle kahit in any way we do, we should make sure that our cognitive is always functioning before you publish anything because again it could be used against us. We could be sued for anything that we published without prior thinking of it. Discretion, this is the intuitive ability to discern what is and is not intrusive, demands moral reasoning where the interests of more than one party are balanced. Hindi naman sa pili or selection of what has to be publicized, but there are certain information that we have to make secret, that we have to make private, not because of keeping information to the public, but issues of privacy and secrecy. So we call that discretion. Consider this, right to know, based on a philosophy that government runs more honestly in the open, which becomes a way of counterbalancing government power. Need to know, one of media's function to provide information to citizens for them to get along with their lives. Kita niyo yung pagkakaiba? And want to know the least compelling rationale for acting and is not a good basis for privacy. So when we acquire information and make it publicized, let's make sure that it's either it's for public importance, it's a need to know, it's a necessity, or it is our right to know because we are the citizens of the country. The least that we should have as a reason of acquiring such information is just for a want. Sabi, there is a certain excerpt about a veil of ignorance o yung tinatawag na reflective equilibrium.